Oh, we're starting. Hey everybody, I'm Coach Mike Rosenfeld and I want to welcome you to Mike's Gold. And in case we haven't met just yet, I work mostly with professional athletes, high-performing CEOs, and really anybody who's committed to taking their life, their game, everything about themselves to that ultimate level. I have supreme certainty that I can help anyone achieve what it is that their heart desires. Absolutely. But there is a criteria. You can't get what you want until you know what you want. So before we get into achieving that goal, it's really important that we do some groundwork first. And here's the groundwork. If you look at this picture over here, here's our head. Our head is how we create. There's a saying, our ears are for wisdom, our eyes are for truth, our creativity sits at the tip of our tongue, and every time our tongue touches the roof of our mouth, there's an intercourse that takes place that gives birth to our reality through the vibration of our words. What goes on right here, your belief systems, is very, very important. But equally as important, if not more important, is what goes on right here. Your heart. This is your truth. This is your passion. This is your purpose. This is that space that can't be convinced of anything. It's truth. It can't be swayed this way or that way. The mind can be swayed, should I this, should I that? But this right here, this is our most powerful place. And then when you look down here, this is what I refer to as the how of things get done. The strategy, so forth and so on. So the mind is what we want, the goal, the vision that we're looking to create. The why is the reason that it's so freaking important to us that we're not going to let absolutely anything get in our way. And by the way, when your why is big enough, there's not a single what or how. In other words, there's not a single thing that will get in the way of you achieving what you really want because you want it so freaking bad. So I want to take you into today's formula. Think great, feel great, dominate. And that's the motto. The motto is to think great, to feel great, and to dominate. So how do we think great? How do we get confronted with a challenge? How do we stand from where we are and be able to overcome anything so that we can achieve the results that we really want? First, we have to really want them. And you'll hear a lot of people talking about making sure your why is really big, like really having a powerful why. It's essential. As it pertains to mental strength, as it pertains to self-mastery, your why is everything. And here's the think great component of it all. Your thoughts, your vision, are where your goal comes from. So you want to make sure that as far as your mind is concerned, you really want that bullseye. You want that freaking target so bad that nothing is going to get in your way. And the reason, or the way you can check in to see if you want it bad enough, is you can ask yourself why. And now the question is, what do you do when you're confronted with a decision, or with a challenge, or with an uncertainty? It's very simple. You look at this as the filter. In other words, you say, is what I'm confronted with in alignment with my goal? Is what I want in alignment with what I really want? Am I willing to say yes to something that will take me out of alignment with who I really am and what I really want? When you can weigh that out all the time and say, do I really want this or do I really want that? If you can weigh it out all the time, then you're going to be able to think great and make healthy decisions. But most people have a very difficult time doing that. And the reason being is because this has only come from up here. It hasn't come from down here, the heart. And the strategy has not been put in place to get there. When all three of these things are aligned to create your goal, it becomes a lot easier to think great. And now the next thing is feel great. How do you feel great? Well, think of whatever it is that you really want. Let's say you want to win the gold medal. Or let's say you want to earn X amount of money this year. Or you want to get a certain position. Or you want to sell a certain amount of records. Or whatever it is that you personally want. Connect to the way it feels. How does it really feel when you're achieving it? Have you done that work? Have you closed your eyes and really allowed yourself to imagine achieving your goal as if it's happening in the moment, and allowed yourself to truly feel it, to feel that exuberance, to feel that life, to feel that passion, that power, that achievement, that sense of, yes, I nailed it. Because if you can get to a space where you have allowed yourself to feel it and you have become familiar with that feeling, you don't have to wait until you get there in order to feel it. What do I mean? It's very simple. Most of us have put all of these conditions in place. I can't feel great until I achieve that goal. I can't feel powerful until I do this. I can't feel successful until I do this. Wrong. You don't get there and then feel it. True success comes from being aligned with why you want something, what it is that you want, and how you're going to get it. It's really all of you. This goal speaks to all of you. True success comes from having joy and passion in what you're doing. And the kicker is this. You don't have to wait till you get there in order to feel that success. In fact, if you're waiting to feel that success, guess what? Every time you're not feeling that success, you're going to feel unsuccessful. I haven't gotten there yet. And for some people, they can drive through them. There's certain types that just love that feeling of unsuccessfulness because that is their motivation. But there's others who get really discouraged with that. And I'll speak to both of you. There's another way. At any moment, you can connect to the feeling of your success. At any moment, you can connect to the feeling of achievement. All you've got to do is feel great. How do you feel great? You imagine what that feeling is. So let's say it's achievement. And then you inject the consciousness of achievement into your breathing. Like this. That's a different kind of breath than, which is a different kind of breath than, I can shift the way I feel at any time through the quality of my breathing, through the way I breathe. I'll say it again. The way we breathe affects the way we feel. Breathe really fast and anxious, and you'll drive yourself nuts. Breathe powerfully, and you'll feel powerful. Breathe that feeling of achievement, and you'll start to feel that. And guess what happens when you start to feel that feeling of achievement? You feel powerful. And when you feel powerful, you can then dominate. Thinking great is knowing what you want and why you want it, and weighing your options or filtering whatever's coming up into whether or not it's aligned with your goal. That's thinking great. Feeling great is connecting to the consciousness, the energy, the feeling, whatever you want to call it, of your highest level of success. And then commanding that from yourself. Now there's different ways of doing it. I just showed you through the breath, and I find the breath to be the most powerful. I've learned through the best teachers in the world, including Dan Brule, who's Tony Robbins' coach. The power of the breath. And we'll do other shows in the future about the power of the breath and how to use the breath to get what you want. But as it pertains to this, you don't have to wait to feel that success. You can inject the consciousness of that success into your breath, and at any moment you can feel that feeling. And with that feeling, you'll be able to do what's necessary, the strategy, or the action steps, or the process, or the tasks, or whatever you want to call it, that lead to that success. Think great, feel great, and dominate. Dominate's the point that I really want to talk to now. How do you dominate? Well, first I want to tell you a quick story. I work with pro athletes. I get a phone call from a tennis player. At the time, he was top 70 in the world. He's at Wimbledon. He got past the first round, and we're Skyping, and he's like, man, I just got past the first round, and if I get past the next round, you have no idea, the money, the fame, the endorsements, my ATP ranking, all of that stuff. Like, he's going nuts. And as he's going nuts, I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. All of a sudden, boom, like someone popped the air right out of his balloon. And I'm laughing because I know exactly what happened. What he started thinking about at first was all the things he would be excited about achieving. But then what happened? He started to think about everything he had to lose. That's called destination disease. So I asked him, can you control winning that match right now? He looked at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, no. Can you control winning that match right now? Can you wave a magic wand and say, I won, and really that happened, you won? He was like, no. I was like, great. No one can control their success in the future right now. If we could, we'd just snap our fingers and each of us has made our millions of dollars. Or each of us has gotten that level of achievement that we're looking to get to. The only thing we can control is what we're doing in the process. And if we do the right things in the process, it gives us the best chance of getting to that goal. So I asked him, what needs to happen for you to win the next match? And I took him right back to that space of the things that he has control over. Worrying about the outcome from here, bad news. Anxiety, nervousness, all of that stuff. Can't control that from here. But what he said was, in order for that to happen, he's got to work on his pre-serve rituals. In other words, he's got to get himself into the right mindset between each serve. He knows how to do that. We've worked on that for a long time. He's got to move his opponent to his backhand. He could do that too. And there were a bunch of other things that he said, the specific things that if he does, he'll give himself the best chance of winning that match. And I said that. I said, if you do those things, what are your chances of success? He goes, very high. I said, well then instead of focusing on the outcome, focus on the very specific things that you can control that lead you to that outcome. Pretty simple. Instead of focusing wherever you are in life, whatever it is that you want to achieve, instead of worrying so much about this, put your strategy in place. So you don't have to worry about this. You can do something very simple, which is make your next step your best step. When that plan is in place, you don't have to worry about the outcome. Here's another example of how that works. Imagine it's midnight and you're getting into the car and you want to drive across the city. Can you do it? Of course you can do it. But it's dark outside. So what? You've got headlights. Well, your headlights only show 180 feet in front of you. And if you're thinking outside of that 180 feet, you're going to go off the road. That's why destination disease hurts us. But what we're training ourselves to do is focus 180 feet at a time. You ever hear the saying, keep your eye on the prize? Keep your eye on the prize? I don't buy that saying. Great movie. Beautiful movie. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the saying, keep your eye on the prize. If your eye is on the prize, guess what? it's not on the ball. Have your heart on the prize. Your why and the prize have to be one. But keep your eye on the ball, because focusing on each step and each moment is what's going to get you that bullseye. So just to recap, thinking great is being sure that what you want, the what of what you want, is aligned with why you want it. These things are really important. Feeling great is connecting to the feeling of achieving your success and not having to wait to get there, but instead commanding it from yourself or injecting the consciousness of that into every breath you take so that you can feel it in the moment. And dominate. Dominate is to know what you want, but the specific things to focus on that will get you there. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Mike's Gold. Each and every week we're going to be building. We're going to be sharing new topics, things that I hope are going to give you tremendous value. That's why I'm doing it. So if there's a topic that you want us to discuss, if there's something that's pressing that you really need help with, please let me know, share it with me, and I give you my word, I'm going to deliver something that's going to knock it out the park. Please share your email address with me in a message, and you can sign up to my newsletter and receive some amazing tools that will help you think great, feel great, dominate. Thank you so much.